If you're new to cryptocurrency, this video is for you. And if you are a veteran in crypto, this is a great reminder of why we should invest into layer one cryptocurrencies. And on today's video, we're going to talk about 3 cryptocurrencies that should be on your watch list. All right, let's dive in. Before we begin, let's start with some news. T. Rowe Price files to launch active crypto ETF and strategic pivot. So T. Rowe has been around for over 80 years, and they mostly deal with mutual funds. And mutual funds are mostly inside of retirement funds. So you see where this is leading. They want to get involved in crypto ETFs. So the $1.8 trillion mutual fund giant is seeking SEC approvals for its first crypto ETF, making a bold move into digital assets. Remember earlier this year, the Genius Act passed. Congress, President Trump was talking about having 401ks, giving them the ability to invest in cryptocurrencies. So this is one of the ways and strategies that this could happen. So let's get to more news. Total land rush. Bitcoin, Solana lead the way with over 150 crypto ETF filings awaiting review. It's happening. This is the month in October that they really want to push crypto ETFs through. So this is a story from the block that I am reading via TradingView. Let's get to the meat of this story. As of October 20th, there are now 155 cryptocurrency-based exchange-traded funds filing, tracking 35 different digital assets, according to Bloomberg. Leading the list are Solana and Bitcoin-based proposals at 23 apiece. So that's 23 proposals about Bitcoin and Solana ETFs. Then it's followed by XRP with 20 proposals and Ethereum with 16. So you got a big mutual fund manager getting into ETFs, and then you have 155 cryptocurrency-based ETFs products that are being filed with 35 different cryptos. That's bullish. That is bullish. And where and why does this matter? Is because that means money is going to flow. And as we heard listed, Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, these are all layer one cryptocurrencies. Now let's get to the meat of this story here. The Stellar network and ecosystem. This is the first crypto that I want you to put on your radar. The Stellar ecosystem. This is the Stellar network XLM token. If y'all been watching this channel, you know I like to cover Stellar Lumens. Fast, efficient, scalable, and affordable. Explore how the Stellar network was designed to seamlessly create and send digital assets to reach users everywhere and to make a lasting impact on the future of finance. So that's what Stellar is doing. And this story here is a real use case that I believe is important to highlight what some of the use cases will be in the future for these L1s. And this one is particular Stellar Lumens. Department of Commerce posts GDP data on Stellar. Gross domestic product. They are trying this out. They're saying, let's put our data onto the blockchain in a immutable public blockchain so that way people can access this information and it is on a credible blockchain as well, which gives Stellar the advantage in this situation. So for the first time in U.S. government's history, the Department of Commerce has begun putting economic data on the Stellar network. Quarterly GDP data on-chain means that there is now an immutable and publicly auditable record of this economic data. 4 times a year, data on Stellar. Big. Now, finally, I think this one is very interesting. Etherfuse aims to bring 100 sovereign currencies on-chain. And on-chain is on the Stellar blockchain. And then this is the most important part of this article or blog here. Where others see domination, Etherfuse sees opportunity. Instead of building more dollar-pegged tokens, they're issuing local stable bonds. Tokens backed by short-term government treasuries from countries like Mexico and Brazil. These treasuries often mature in 90 days or less. The key difference: stable bonds let users earn yield while holding their local currency. Stable coins, on the other hand, maintain a peg and don't generate yield. Okay, the demand is already there. Brazil moved 318 billion in crypto last year, accounting for nearly a third of all crypto activity in Latin America. People outside the U.S. want financial tools built with their local currencies for their local markets. So we know about treasury yields in the United States. You can earn around 4%, maybe 3.5 now. They want to get shorter term yield. So if you got some money, you can then purchase these bonds from other currencies and then earn a yield from those countries, but nothing too crazy where it's a few years, it's a few months. That is another solid use case being built on Stellar Lumens. Now let's get to blockchain number 2 I want y'all to put on your radar, or remind you if you've been watching this channel. The trust layer of the digital economy. As the world's only public network governed by known institutions, Hedera is the trusted platform for building fast, secure, and compliant decentralized applications. And then this is a whole bunch of stats right here about how poppin' their blockchain is. Now, we're talking about Hedera Hashgraph, and big news popping out of Hedera right now. Mondelez International joins Hedera Council to accelerate digital ledger adoption, digital transformation, and improve business efficiencies. I know this story came out last year, but this is an example. Mondelez makes Oreos, right? Ritz crackers, Cliff bars, all of that type of stuff. Mondelez is a public company, and they have joined a list of other public companies that is on the Hedera Council. Why is this important? This is why. Pioneering best-in-class governance, Hedera Council is a governing body made up of leading global organizations dedicated to fostering trust, security, and innovation on the Hedera network. Here is a list. You got Aberdeen. We have Chainlink Labs, Google, IBM, Hitachi, as I said, Mondelez, Ubisoft, a whole bunch of different public companies or private companies as well that are all around the world. Dell Technologies, right? Billions of dollars, and they're inside of the Hedera Council helping to govern, which means Hedera is connected to all of these big institutions. That's popping for a layer 1, in my opinion. And now, finally, the third one I want to put on your radar is Algorand. Algorand is a blockchain built for payments. It's built for real world assets. And some of the biggest news that has came out recently is about Google Cloud Tech's agent payments protocol. Google developed AP2 to initiate and transact agent-led payments across platforms, right? Now here it is, partners contributing to agent payments protocol. So we have, obviously, right here in the middle, Algorand. And they're in line with many other large companies like Affirm, Adobe, Accenture, OnePass, MasterCard, PayPal, right? These are big names that are all dealing in some form or some way with payment infrastructure. And for Algorand to be that blockchain that is a part of this list, that is huge. And that is another reason why Algorand should be on your radar. So again, we talked about layer 1 blockchains that have a lot of potential: Stellar Lumens, Hedera, and Algorand. So make sure y'all put that on your watch list. If you have any questions, especially you new folks that are just getting into crypto, and for you veterans, put a fire emoji in the chat. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Until the next time, y'all. Peace.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.